Morning everyone, back in the groove I suppose. Right, well, I say morning everyone, it's 3:30 in the morning here, just about to shoot another video. Right, introductions I suppose as normal. My name's Ron, this is Ron's 12 inches. It's all about your music, been collecting music like I say for about 45 years on and off. This is all about your vinyl, your 12 inch, your 10 inch, you know what I mean, your CDs, these your CDs. Right, there's your 12 inch, there's your inner sleeve. This one's a little bit different from the other sleeves. This one's got an automatic lining in it, so you don't need the old Ikari anti-static ones, because that's what we've already got in there. That's your 12 inch, there's your 10 inch, look at that. I believe in Father Christmas. Well, I used to, but I don't so much now. Greg Lake, one of the best Christmas songs you'll ever listen to, and for you, those of you who's not too fussy, there's your 7 inch, look at that, TRB, Tom Robinson Band, Up Against the Wall. That is a superb song. If you've never listened to that, go and get a copy of that, or go and listen to it on Spotify or whatever. So if you're not fussy, there's your outer sleeves for your protection. Make sure you like your main sleeve, or you like your card sleeve, don't get buggered up or whatever. Right, that's me sleeve for the piece of vinyl I've got spinning here, and that's the album I'm going to be reviewing today. And it's this album here, and it's by SUPERTRAMP, Crime of the Century. What an album that is. Right, who are SUPERTRAMP? Well, SUPERTRAMP were formed in 1970. Roger Hodgson, Ricky Davies, Bob Seidenberg is on the drums, John Helliwell is on the brass and the wind instruments, and there's another. The line-up's changed from when they first formed. They formed in 70, but this album was bought out in 73, and that's the line-up that I'm going to be talking about. So you had Hodgson on your guitar and your keyboard and your vocals. You had Davis on the keyboard, and he was the vocals as well. And then you had, like I say, the other two were on the drums and the wind and the brass instruments. Like I say, this was bought out in 1973. I think it reached about number 4, I think, in the charts. It was their breakthrough album, the first 2 albums they released, which had a bit of a pony lineup really, I think, and it all went a bit Pete Tong, and so they got rid of, changed a few of it about, kept Ricky Davies, and he brought in a couple of other people, and obviously Hodgson was one of them, and that really, you know what I mean, that started booting the actual the band right through the roof. Right, the album itself, I'm going to review a few of the tracks, not all of them. Like I say, they had 2 singles off of the album, like Bloody Well Right and Dreamer. To me, Dreamer don't sit well with this album, I don't think. I think that's more for an album of what's the other album? Not Crime of the anyway, we'll get up to that in a minute. The Breakfast in America, that's the one I'm thinking of. I think that sits more on that album than it does this album to me. All these are like mini masterpieces, like, you know what I mean, musical masterpieces. Like these are just, this album is just absolutely superb. I think it's probably one of the most underrated albums ever released, I think. It's categorised, like, they was categorised in that stage as progressive rock, but I think they ended up, like with Breakfast in America, they ended up going over to the pop side of it. And I know what happened, like the voices on the singing sort of like changed. They sort of be a bit more falsetto in them. Yeah, so anyway, let's go through the first track, shall we? Just see what the first track's all about. Like School. Now School, this is just an absolute stonker of a track. This is a peach of a track. Starts off, sounds like there's like a train going along in the front, huffing and puffing or whatever, and then the piano comes in, and then it starts like it's just absolutely, the piano playing in this would just blow you away. It's just different class. Then like it's an inspirational song. This, I'm telling you, absolutely different class. School. I was, when I first listened to SUPERTRAMP, I listened to Breakfast in America, and I thought, oh my god, and then all of a sudden I picked this up, and I thought to myself, oh dear, now we're talking, like, because I like them poppy tunes, don't get me wrong, I like Breakfast in America, I think some great songs on it, but I do like me heavy stuff, and this is more me. I do like the prog rock. I don't Pink Floyd, I was never into Pink Floyd when I was younger, but I've got more into them as I've grown older. I think I appreciate them more as I'm older. I'm not into things like Deep Purple and Sabbath, believe it or not. I think they're just a little bit too heavy for me. Right, Bloody Well Right. It's an okay song, don't get me wrong. It's the first, the first taste of the Whirl It's the Piano, I think, was on this, because that's where they went. I think one of the, whoever it was, decided to like tamper around with the Whirl It's the electric piano, and I think that's played on this song. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. Me personally, I don't think that should have been a single myself. I think probably School wouldn't have, but in the time, 73, I think School would have sat right in the single charts. I think that would have done really well. So on the A side, I would have picked that as the single rather than the School, or I would have picked the next one, which is Hide in Your Shell. Now, Hide in Your Shell is just, the dynamics on this is just perfect. It's just perfectly structured, this song. It's just so tight. Everything, musicality of this song is just absolutely fantastic, I'm telling you. It's a bit difficult. I'm going to pick 3 songs at the end who I think are all the greatest songs on this album. There's 3 standout songs on this album, and they ain't the singles, right? So I'll talk about that at the end of it. Right, so that's the Hide in the Shell. Asylum, yeah, it's a good track, don't get me wrong. There's bits and pieces in it, it goes up and down. You know what I mean? With a lot of these songs, there are a lot of crescendos, you know what I mean? It starts off slow, builds up, drops down, builds up, drops up. And that's a lot to do with this album. I do like that. I do like, especially when they get to the end of the song and it's banging, you know what I mean? Everything's going, the drums are going, the guitars are going. Some of these songs, I do like a nice bit of brass, you know what I mean, saxophone, clarinet. I do like the saxophone. I think it's brilliant when it's played right and it sits in the record, like, and it sounds great. It's played right and it's coming into the record at the right time and not wasted. I think he's a brilliant instrument to play. Right, the second side, Dreamer. Like I say, I think that sits better on Breakfast in America myself. It's an okay song. It was a breakthrough single for them. I think it got number 15, I think, in the charts. So it was a breakthrough single from them. So it discovered them, I suppose. It put them on the map. Where the first 2 albums, they pretty much didn't do very well, and they, like I say, got rid of the lineup and started again. And yeah, I think so. Obviously, they had to get some sort of poppy song on there to try and like boost the sales of the album, I suppose. And I suppose Dreamer was it. Right, Rudy. That's more of a jazz rocky feel for it, really. I like it because it's a bit heavier than the other tracks on this album. So I've got a lot of time for this song. I know it's quite a long song. It's about, well, don't tell me on here. It's about 7 minutes, I think. But I like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. It sits well on the album, I think. I'm not too sure whether it sits well with following Dreamer. Like I say, Dreamer, I think is the letdown song on the album, believe it or not. Although it's the biggest selling, like the single off it, and it boosted sales and everything. To me, I don't think that belongs there, and I think it's not a stinker, but it's not a stonker. Put it that way. It's in between, I think. What's the next one? If Everyone Was Listening. Yeah, this is another one it's on. I don't say it's a filler. It's nice. It's just a nice steady pace to it. Everything's going on, but not too much. You know what I mean? There's not enough drive in that song for me. And then we get to the last track, which is Crime of the Century, which is obviously the name of the album. Now, to me, this is just brilliant, you know what I mean? For a finals track on an album, you just cannot get better than this. Seriously, you just cannot get better than that, Crime of the Century. Hodgson plays a great guitar in this. He very rarely bangs in the old guitar like heavy, but in this one, I think it's the only time he actually, the guitar is played quite heavy on that side, and it's just brilliant. It takes your breath away. And then as the song's building up, the piano bit in this is just You know what I mean? You can hear it in your head. Once you play this song, you'll never forget it. It's just absolutely brilliant. And then the saxophone comes right in at the end. Oh my God, what a bit of music that is. That is just, yeah, the pinnacle of the album is there. It's all there. It's not wasted. Put it that way. You ain't gonna get to the end of the album, like some album, you think, oh, I know that last track's a load of old junk, so I'm going to take it off. You won't put that. That's why you'll play that. You'll wait until the album's finished. You won't put it. You'll pick the needle back up, pick the stylus back up, and put that one back on, because that's how good that song is. Right, 3 songs that I think are the best songs on the album. I think a School, Hide in Your Shell, which I just think that could have been a single off there. I think that should have been the single. School and Hide in Your Shell should have been the singles off of there. And obviously Crime of the Century. I think they're the best. They're the stonkers on there by an absolute country mile. They're a 10 all day long with me. There's a couple of 9s there. I think Bloody Well Right's probably a 9. I think Rudy's a very good song. I like it. It's got like I say, it's got a heavier feel for me, and I do like heavier tunes, so I like that. So I'd give that a 9. I'd give Dreamer probably about a 6. You know, I say just. It's not for me, that song. I like it, don't get me wrong, I can play it. It's not many albums that I can put an album on and think, oh, I know what's coming up, I've got to take it off, you know what I mean? I don't want to listen to it. There's very few albums like that, and even if there is a song on there, I usually listen to it anyway, you know what I mean? Like, with music, with me, I can usually listen to a band, first time I listen to it, and I can think to myself, you know what, there's something there, right? There's something catchy about the song or the actual band, and I think to myself, I'll give that a go. Where some people, they listen to it, they listen to 10 seconds of a track and go, nah, that's a load of old tosh, you know what I mean, take that off, that ain't going to be working for me. I think to myself, you've only heard 10 seconds, man, give it a chance, you know what I mean? So I always give a band a chance. I went to see a band a little while ago, Editors, they had a backing group there called Whispering something. I ended up going to buy their album. I thought their album was brilliant. It was just one of them things. Musically, I can listen to something and I can find it, so I can hear it straight away. Now, you put something like P Diddy and Jazzy Rascal or Dizzy Rascal or Jazzy G or whatever his name is, and nah, I'm not interested. Pop Smoke, not interested. None of that. I'm not interested in all that rap. I do like a bit of rap. I like it in Linkin Park. I don't mind Eminem. There's a bit of it I don't mind, but there's a lot of it I don't like. So yeah, rap. You very rarely get me raving on about a rap song. Although obviously the Eminem song out of 8 Mile is probably the best thing that he's ever done on rap. But there you go. Right, that's me done, I think, on talking about that album. Like I say, you ever listen to it, you won't be disappointed. If you've never listened to this album, then you've missed out, you know what I mean? It's must have been going around 47 years, now 48 years. I don't know when it was released, but I know it was released in 73, I think, 73? 73. So it's 48 years, that just don't seem possible. It's just, that's just absolutely flown. Anyway, that's me done for tonight's, this morning's video. Yeah, I'd like to give a big rap out to a few of the subscribers that have come on board. I keep meaning to put these people down, what their names are, but thanks for subscribing. If I did a video and I got 1 subscriber every video, I'd be really pleased. You know what I mean? It's not great out there at the moment. Everything's all up in the air. It's just getting worse and worse. You know what I mean? I ain't got Peter P in really, but there you go. I'm going to give this a go for a few times, see how we go. Hopefully it'll come across okay. If it doesn't, don't forget, these are only my opinions on these records. Everyone's got an opinion. Music's the greatest thing, it's the best thing that's ever been invented. You take a listen to it, you tell me what you think, you know what I mean, write the comments down. If you're going to put something negative, leave a positive with it, you know what I mean. You give me a bit of a lift, you know what I mean. I don't want all negativity about it, otherwise it'll end up coming back on me, and I'll end up thinking, oh no, I don't want to do it, you know what I mean. It's time. I'm only putting these out there for a thing. The other thing I was going to say was, I put a couple of videos up a little while ago, and I played a little bit out of a couple of jazz funk Players Association, and I got a copyright thing bob on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link on the back of this video. I'm going to play 2 of the tracks off of it. I think I'm going to play school and Crime of the Century, so you'll be able to listen to them, and I'll boot it up, and I've got a nice little setup here, sounds really good, but I'll have to do that in the daytime because I can't start booting it up now with the missus in bed. She'll think there's something going on, or some sort of like rave party going on downstairs. So I do like a Russ Whiteley, I've got to say, but unfortunately with the COVID, no people allowed in your house, so, and I'm booze free at the moment, so trying to trim down, lose a bit of weight, get on the old running and do a bit of skipping and whatever. Anyway, you look after yourself till I catch you next time. All the best, stay safe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned, I'll be putting out another video very soon. I'm going to post as many as I can. Anyone wants to me to have a look at something and whatever, perhaps I'll do that and whatever. Anyway, God bless, all the best, and take it easy, be lucky.